enjoy this creepypasta about Fallout 4. Guys, you'll never believe this story, but it's 100% true. When I was 14 years old, I really wanted to play the new game, Fallout 4. But my parents wouldn't buy it for me. So one day, I went to a garage sale, lo and behold, there was a copy of Fallout 4, but the disc was just an ordinary disc, and someone had just written FO4 on it in a marker pen. It must have been a pirated copy. I wish I had known what I know now. That is not an ordinary copy of Fallout 4. When I installed the game, it came with a warning that said, "May cause death." I thought it was the developers trying to be funny. When I booted up the game, it wouldn't work properly. It would be a black screen. But then I messed around with the system files and I managed to get it working. I thought it was just my PC acting up because my mom wouldn't let me buy a new graphics card. The first thing I noticed was that there was already a save file on the game. I thought that was strange. I opened it up and it took me to the character creation menu. Except the man standing in front of the mirror was dead. After I picked up my baby, the screen went black and I figured once again, maybe PC bugged out, but all of a sudden it skipped to what seemed like a few hours in the game. I was back in the wasteland. I was talking to Preston Garby. The only option it gave me was strangle. So I pressed the button, and what happened next was an extremely graphic scene of my character cutting the circulation to Preston Garby. He screamed in pain, and it wasn't like any of the usual voice acting. This sounded real. I swear when I looked into his eyes, it was like the textures got hyper-realistic, and I thought I saw a reflection of a person in it. I thought I saw myself. Not only that, but the familiar Fallout UI went from being nuclear green to blood red. I've been playing this game for a long time now, and I've started to notice some things. I feel like there's shadows in the corner of my room. In real life. I played for another 20 hours, literally exploring every crack and crevice, until finally, I found the first NPC I've seen in a literal day. It was my dead wife, and she was still frozen like she was in the cryo chamber. I started doing some research on the dark web. I found a post that said, actually, that during the production of Fallout 4, one of the beta testers was forced to play the game for 20 hours straight to see if there was any bugs with the game being played for 20 hours straight, and the man died of dehydration. And when Todd Howard buried the body, he didn't want anyone to know. Something is not right. I feel like there's creatures all around me, like in the game. I can see map markers in the distance. Here's the worst part. I tried to webcam my friend, but when he opened the call, he said, "Why are you hanging out with Preston Garby?" And I said, "What? I'm all alone." To my shock, when the webcam turned on, it wasn't my friend, as I expected. It was the Todd Howard, staring black at me. But his eyes were different. They were more evil. His eyes were black, as though he'd been crying blood. He opened his mouth and only static came out. I was terrified of what would happen. Through the static, though I could hear something, he said, "If you die in the game, you die in real life. Finish the game." I hope this isn't my last story. Things are getting really bad now. I went back to that neighbor's garage sale, and it turns out they've never even lived there. If I can end on one thing, it's to say this: if you find a pirated game at a garage sale, don't play it. Bum, 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 ba-da-da-da, bum.